afraid I've got some bad news.
The Group Chat Podcast, presented by Bayou Sports and One More Round Studios. Proudly sponsored by the Law Office of Tommy Baudot, Performance Auto, and Martin's AC and Electrical. Now play some Creed and let's get to trolling.
Oh, I agree.
That sums it up pretty well. What's up, guys? Hope everybody is enjoying their evening so far. It's Wednesday, so that means it's time to hang out with us here at the Group Chat Podcast. We are live in our One More Rounds Man Cave studios. We've got a fun show coming your way. We're going to be talking sports. We've got a couple of different topics that we'll be getting into. We'll be talking about some boxing, New Orleans Saints. No primetime games. We'll talk about schedule release videos. We'll tell you who won our Little Debbie poll and tell you who's winning some Little Debbies. We were discussing, and Nick said a couple shows ago, man, why don't they just let the people juice up? Well, in New Zealand, they've got that idea. We're going to have an Olympic Games in a couple years where they're not going to be drug testing for anything. So we might see some world records get broken there. We'll talk about that. We got another edition of underrated, overrated music this time that you guys are going to be hearing from us.
I'm not a fan of that list at all.
No?
It's way too much thinking.
I was about to say, yeah, there's a lot of these that I think are really freaking good. So we'll get into that. Well, first and foremost, boys, how we doing today, Nick? And this is Casey, Nick here, Damian here. What's going on, fellas?
Pretty solid day today. I got to be honest. Pretty solid day. A lot of stuff going on at work. But quick day. And anxious to get in saddle here and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Same worked. Did some video, did a little promo for us to get some people to check out our TikTok. So if you're listening on Facebook and you want to check out our TikTok, it's Group Chat Podcast 73. You don't have to watch on TikTok. Watch us on Facebook if you want, but just go check us out and give us a follow.
Sweet.
Our soundboard is back live and ready to go tonight, so get ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. New and improved. Awesome. We need a soundboard sponsor. Hey, look, shout out Lafouche Concert and Events Club coming to us for that sponsorship. We appreciate you, Kyle. And we may disappoint you later in the mailbag, but that's what we're here for, to disappoint everyone involved.
I got to tell you guys about my day. I got hung up on today. That was fun. Usual stuff, making some things happen. Congratulations to Nyla Lyons. I was just writing about her getting her second Division I scholarship offer. That was really cool. A lot of my stuff work-related has been based on stuff I was doing here in the last week, which was involving the high school playoffs. But, fellas, I got a lot of free time. Like, school's freaking over. There's no more school sports. I'm going to be doing some summer league basketball, 7-on-7 football, all that stuff. Let's lead off today. Well, we were talking about this before we hit record. How about Tarpon football winning their spring game 42-0? Yeah, man, we're excited about Tarpon football coming up.
I saw it had to be on Bayou Sports. Shout out Bayou Sports. All that and that team. BJ Young had a quote saying, I don't know if we're going to go out and destroy or don't expect us to destroy HL. And then I see the score the next day and it's 42-0. Shout out to the defense. Obviously, we knew the offense had a bunch of firepower, but question marks may have been on the other side of football stemming from last year. And seems like, at least in the spring, they got that fired up and taken away.
About my guy Chubby T, who lives a couple houses down over here, bro. What a play. Juking that dude out of his cleats on the sideline. If you have not seen that play, go to the Bayou Sports Facebook. Just scroll down a little bit. T caught a pass over the middle, right around the 20-yard line. Guys pursuing him. He just hits the brakes, and the dude was shook out of his shoes. Man, I didn't know my guy was slippery like that, brother.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a young Reggie Bush out there from the old USC days.
Let's say he would have ran out of bounds.
Days, not the Saints days, USC days. Boy, looks like a young Reggie Bush.
Absolutely. So we were looking forward to that. Let's dive into it right here. We've got Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. He is 53 years old. Has not fought in, 7-8 years we were looking at. And he is eyeing a potential fight. There he goes. There he goes. He's eyeing a potential fight against Deontay Wilder. Damian, you and I have been talking on play-by-play about how Deontay Wilder is a little older and, maybe we didn't want to see him fight anymore and all this stuff. But Shannon Briggs is not boxed in 9 years. The The last time that he did, it was in Greenwich, England, against Emilio Ezequiel Zarate. There's a guy who's an absolute nobody.
I was like, Emilio. if you know that, we could be friends. Like,
boys, Deontay Wilder wouldn't have any problems knocking out Shannon Briggs, right? Shannon Briggs is 100.
So here's the thing about what's going on. So he's not trying to challenge Wilder now. I think it's a fight he's trying to get a little further down the road. And some correlation with some folks from around here. Victor has fought at this Texas Troubadour Theater in Nashville a few times. It's Jimmy Adams, who used to work for Top Rank, who's taken over this venue. It's Country Box. They have a band. They have a bunch of fights. Normally, the fights are pretty one-sided. 3-4 months ago, Oliver McCall, who was plus 50, came back. So I don't know if that got Shannon Briggs back in the mode of, hey, maybe I want to fight again. Shannon Briggs is one of the best and most entertaining trash talkers in the history of boxing. It seems like when he gets into these bigger fights, he folds. He could beat the lesser competition with very, very much ease. His nickname, the Cannon, there's a reason for that. The guy could punch. He's sitting at a professional record of 60 wins, 6 losses with 53 knockouts. That just doesn't happen. He's got a lot of that over C-rated competition, and those 6 losses come from that A-rated competition. And he's probably going to get a couple fights, 53 years of age, and come back and maybe get one last payday.
Oliver McCall, by the way, just Googled, he's 60, and he's over here fighting. It says
so Oliver McCall,
Bull.
random trivia. Don't look it up, Casey. Mm-hmm. Nick, I'm asking you this. Do you know who Oliver McCall's last fight was?
No.
One of your best friends when we were in the boxing game. Stacy Frazier.
Oh, yeah.
And Stacy Frazier is pushing 50 as well. He was old when we were in the boxing game decades ago.
It says at 59, McCall becomes the oldest former heavyweight champion to win a professional boxing match.
That was stemmed from the Tyson match. Had to.
It's crazy, man.
So down the line, can we see Briggs? Can we see Wilder? It's a possibility. Neither one of them need to be fighting. Hopefully they fight with headgear, and that's how that ends up working itself out.
Briggs is how old?
53.
53. He wants to fight Wilder. I don't think I've seen anything that said Wilder wants to fight him. He just kind of called him out. That's what Shannon Briggs does. He calls out people. He stalks people. He aggravates people. That doesn't mean Wilder's going to accept this fight. From what I read, it's probably not even going to happen. But there's nothing more exciting in boxing or nothing more entertaining in boxing than having Shannon Briggs on the trail trying to piss somebody off to fight him.
Wow. I gotta say, chanting, let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
That is my favorite tagline in the history of boxing.
Dude, when he did that to Klitschko and showed up, hey, I'm going to eat breakfast like you, champ. Let's go, champ. Dudes, now Klitschko would have killed him had they fought, but that would have been wonderful to see.
Did they not end up?
I think they did, but I think it was after. I think he wanted a rematch. The
Let's Go champ was after. Klitschko just destroyed him.
Yes, unanimous decision.
120-105, 120-107, and 120-107.
Speaking of old boxers who are making their returns, we got one who is for sure making his return. That would be Mr. Manny Pacquiao, who's returning at the age of 46 to fight Mario Barrio for the WBC welterweight title. Pacquiao's 46. I think he's been washed for quite some time, but now he's getting back in there. Damian, we talked about this on the radio. He can't need money. I wouldn't hope. I speculate that maybe it's to help his political aspirations, get his name out there, whatever it may be. I know he's in the middle of a re-election campaign right now. Is this Barrio guy even somebody that could beat him?
Say it right.
Barrios.
That was a good restaurant.
Yeah, it was. What are we doing here, boys? We got a guy who's a Hall of Famer. He last fought in 2021, lost a unanimous decision to some dude who's 26-4. Like, what are we doing here?
What is he politically in?
He's like a senator or something like that.
It's a hell of a way to get your name out there for political reasons.
Well, Casey made the point when he actually invited me to do radio on Friday, two Fridays ago, that it was a close campaign. Yeah. And that he may be getting back in the game just to get his name out there a little bit more. But my point was, and Nick, you could elaborate on it, does this guy really need the money?
I wouldn't think so.
You made American dollars, millions of American dollars, and you living in the Philippines where a grain of rice is worth $100.
Yeah, so
no offense to Filipino people.
Offense to Filipino people.
Our priests.
Yeah. He shouldn't need any money if he's just living lavishly or what, but the dude made a ton of money. And either he's bored or political aspirations.
Is he going to beat this Barrios dude? Is he going to lose to this guy? What's he going to look like? Is there any chance he climbs back and gets a big money fight against a champion? Is he doing this for PR? Like, what's the end game here?
So he selected a pretty active opponent. It's not a guy that's going to sit there in front of you, take punches, and make him look good. He's going against a younger guy, obviously. At 46, there's not many older guys that's active. And it's going to be a battle. There's a reason that they're fighting for the WBC title. That's probably my biggest gripe, is that being so stagnant for X amount of years, you automatically come into a title fight. Now I know these titles don't mean anything at all. I have one on order that Tommy should have brought me back from his last card show that he didn't. It's frustrating to see, and it's the big green belt. If you don't know what a WBC is probably the most prominent title in boxing right now, aside from the Ring Magazine title, which I don't even know is a thing anymore. Just to have that happen for that title fight, Barrios he's either the champ, interim champ, or number one contender. So he's obviously earned his stripes there. But for Pacquiao to come in and get that automatic title shot is not cool.
Barrios is coming off of a draw against Abel Ramos in a fight at Jerry World, 12 rounds. He won decisively on one card. Another judge had it 113, and he lost 112 to 114 on another card. Other than that, he had won 3 straight. So we'll see. Before that, Barrios has fought some of the elite competition, lost to Keith Thurman, lost to Gervonta Davis. We'll see what Pacquiao got. Look, I'll ask you guys this. It's in July 19th out in Vegas. Is this something you guys would be wanting to spend any money to see?
So if I had to pay for it, I probably would, just because it's Manny Pacquiao and I've grown to enjoy what he does in the ring. But being that I don't have to pay for it, I'll just not pay for it and watch it anyway.
Fair enough. Oh, you guys. Yeah. When the two big stories right now that we're talking about are the 53-year-old fighting a 40-year-old and then a 46-year-old fighting. Is this why the YouTube thing is real? Like, there's not a whole lot of storylines going on in boxing right now. And the last 2 big boxing fights that we had the fewest CompuBox punches ever. The dudes didn't want to fight.
The 2 actual boxers.
Right.
Not the sideshows. Yeah, that's 100% accurate. And that's why they're getting some love and getting some TV time. And as a purist, a boxing purist, this bothers me to no end. That the most entertaining thing in the ring is Jake Paul.
So Shannon Briggs and Manny Pacquiao are sitting at home and they watching a couple weekends ago those fights, and they're like, I could punch 6 times in a round. I could do that too. Maybe I should make a comeback. So that's what boxing is coming to. All the old guys are coming back because the current guys aren't good enough.
That's
like, what's going on with this?
Hey, before we check out of the boxing conversation, our guy, friend of the show, contacted me this week. Victor Hernandez is scheduled to fight next Saturday at the Metro in New Orleans.
He beat out of the dude he fought a couple nights ago.
Yeah, so under the radar fight with Victor on the 17th. Had a knockout victory over, can we butcher this name? Wusai Johnson?
He's 3-36. We could call him whatever we want. He's so brain dead, he's not going to be offended.
Well, I'm not trying to. It doesn't matter if we offend Wusai Johnson.
I'm saying that like I could beat Wusai Johnson. I'm over here talking noise.
That's Casey Gisclair, cut off Louisiana.
A guy who went 3 rounds with Victor. I'm over here talking noise like I could survive a second against him.
Next Saturday, May 31st, at the Metropolitan Nightclub in New Orleans. We're going to have Metro brawling, Victor Hernandez headlining, Garrett Payton, Cody Ziegler, Jacob Yamamoto, Devin McKinley, and Sheldon Volaton. Garrett Payton beat Steven in a close bout, and I've always just kept an eye on Garrett Payton afterwards. So Garrett Payton on BoxRec, which is the most viewed boxing matchup site in the world, is scheduled to fight Andalusia, Alabama heavyweight Dwayne McQueen.
He's a big dude.
Dwayne McQueen is 44 years old. He's got a record of 3 wins, and 7 defeats. Looking a little further, sometimes BoxRec, you could get into a bad rabbit hole.
Been there, done that.
So 10 fights. I'm going to rattle off his record. Lost first round knockout. Lost first round knockout. Lost first round knockout. Win first round knockout. Lost first round knockout. Win first round knockout. Lost first round knockout. Win first round knockout. Lost first round knockout. Lost first round knockout.
So this guy's never heard the second round.
That is amazing. In 10 professional fights, he has not gone 3 minutes.
That's crazy.
Were they all pro debuts that he was fighting?
No, 6-0, 5-0, 0-2.
He beat some dudes with some wins.
Dang.
3 pro
Okay.
debuts. His most prominent win is Dustin Nichols. Now, look, we could go down this rabbit hole as long as you want to because I got some talking points. Dustin Nichols fought Deontay Wilder. Dustin Nichols fought Martin Verdun. Dustin Nichols is 396 pounds, and he looks every bit of it. His fight with Dwayne McQueen at 372, lowest of his career.
So the big chunky dude that Martin fought like a couple years ago, that's him?
I wouldn't say chunky. He's got some weight.
Yeah, I didn't want to say fat and offend another boxer, but
Well, there's a very small population of boxers that have weighed in at 450 pounds.
Oh.
Devin McGovern, if you listen, Casey got 2 fights lined up if you want to promote those.
So further down the rabbit hole, I was there on December 4th, 2009 at the St. Bernard Civic Center in Chalmette. Dustin Nichols, 375 pounds, fought Suji Fox from Columbus, Mississippi. Suji Fox was so aggravated in the middle of the first round, he just walked out of the ring.
wait, hold it. This big fat ass dude fought Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, you don't listen to me. You like Aaron. You don't listen.
Damn. Well, I'm over here scared because
It's-
I'm looking over my shoulder.
It's
Expecting.
on YouTube. If you check it out, Deontay Wilder versus Dustin Nichols.
Where was that fight?
Some nightclub in Hattiesburg. Nichols actually does not look terrible in the fight.
Come on.
Wilder was very green, even though he had won the medal. He was still very green.
That's an amazing story to Deontay Wilder. How green he looked. He won the bronze, and then parlayed that into a very, very lucrative career in boxing.
What do y'all make of Clarissa Shields saying on X that she wants to go back and win another Olympic gold medal?
There's nothing that she says that she can do that I'm going to say she can. That is one of the most impressive female athletes in the world to me.
Nobody's going to beat her.
But I meant more like the professional now boxing in the Olympics. That kind of was faux pas. Now it's become a thing, though.
That's the only way the United States is going to win a medal in boxing. Hey, shout out Coach Ashton Dillon in the chat. Happy birthday, Coach. Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah,
Ashton said if he could do it at 46, Pacquiao could do it at 46.
One thing
Ashton still can't dunk at 46, and he couldn't do it at 18 either.
Ashton is a proud member of the state championship club. One thing I want to do here over the summer is I want to shout out members of the state championship club, Ashton included. We've got a select bunch in our area that are members of the state championship club. Shout out to all of our people graduating, man. We got graduation for South Lafourche tomorrow. Thibodaux, I think, is tonight. Central Lafourche, I believe, was last night. All the Terrebonne schools, I'm pretty sure, have wrapped up. Man, a lot of these kids we coached like in bitty and itty bitty, and they're freaking graduating. Dude.
That means y'all getting old.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, another birthday. Actually, you share a birthday with a very special person in my life. It's my grandmother's 80th birthday today. We celebrated Saturday. Had an awesome time. A bunch of people that I didn't really know that they knew, but it was pretty legit.
That is awesome.
Better fight. Shannon Briggs versus Deontay Wilder, or Nick versus his phone voice messaging his TikTok lives to our group chat.
So I was on a TikTok live earlier today doing screen printing shirts for DTB Clothing. Check us out on TikTok, DTB Clothing LA on
Read
TikTok.
that? Let's have a live read.
Yeah.
And I'm not even touching my phone. My phone's on a tripod, and somehow it texted our group chat.
The
What?
green group chat, not the blue one.
The green one, yeah.
So for once, we didn't have a lot of conversation.
Oh, so that big long text that was not meant to be sent?
No, somehow my phone decided, hey, maybe we should text Damon, Casey, and Tommy, and it just decided to dictate everything I was saying. Typed it up, send it.
So just to get everybody in the loop, we were discussing the placement of a digital billboard for our local business and how we disagree with that. The next text that came in, LaFar Royals dance team. This is going to be at your father front. I won't call her back right now. Having some technical difficulties with my conveyor dryer, so we're going to see how that works out. Hopefully we could get through it with no issue. Why heater was supposed to be at 300. I was at 400 and lit. Follow your red plus at the top. Give us a follow-up. Post videos daily. We record a lot. I'll forget to record a live, having to edit. How do you? Hopefully if heater cooperates.
Were you on meth?
It had to be from my watch. I must have said something like series or something. Because usually if I say something like that, my watch, like Siri comes up on my phone or my watch, and it just decided, hey, I need to text these dudes.
I feel way less dumb now. As I was reading, I was like, why is this relevant to me at all? But okay, now I know it was a mistake.
And, my condolences to Tommy's client that Tommy was working for at the time.
Oh, yeah. Tommy lost his client 10 grand, he said.
Trying to figure that out.
I hope he was joking, but if not, he might have some explaining to do. Oh, damn. We got breaking news, Nick. Is that legit before we shout
that? That was from Yahoo, I believe.
The Colts owner, Jim Irsay, has died, 65 years old. I'm going to sound like such an ass.
Tell our favorite Jim Irsay stories.
Well, I know he's battled some demons, dude. I just hope that this wasn't that kind of death. Not that there's any kind of death that's good, but I hope it wasn't something that he did. And I hate to even bring that up right out of the gate, but this is a man who's been to rehab and stuff and has had some demons.
So 65 years old, and I'm looking at my watch because that's what it came in on the news. He's in a wheelchair on the field, so I'm not speculating at all on what happened, but it looks like he had some health issues.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. That's terrible, man. That sucks for the Colts. And now I'm curious. I wonder if he has like any children. Like, what's going to be next for the Colts, and what's their succession plan, and who's going to be the next owner, and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, that is breaking news.
Hey, shout out sponsor DTB Clothing.
Let's talk about a depressing topic. Get everybody bummed out. The New Orleans Saints, their schedule was released, and they don't have a primetime game for the first time in 25 years. They also are only favored in one of their 17 games, and they have the lowest over-under win total in Las Vegas of any team in the NFL. So the bookies, the sharps, everybody, they're over here saying, hey, Saints are going to be ass. Is there anything to be excited about, guys? Is there anything that you guys saw in the schedule that liked? Like, everything right now, New Orleans Saints related, is negative, except Billy Joe texting me every day and saying they're going to go 11-6. Everything is negative right now.
So Vegas is calling the New Orleans Saints the Four Horsemen because they're predicting 4 wins right now. At the end of the day, and I'm asking Nick, the panel Saints fan, for a primetime matchup, who are we scheduling? Hey, look, we got to see the Saints against this team because we have this person. There's nobody on that roster to do that. Your highest hope is did you know that Shuck is older than Rattler?
He's the oldest quarterback on the roster.
A seasoned veteran.
I learned that last night. Anyway, is there anything to get excited about, Nick?
No.
Why would the NFL put them there? Like,
right.
Why is this a surprise and why is this a topic?
If you're scheduling a primetime game, you want primetime teams, primetime players, something that's going to draw people's attention, make them want to watch. And if Saints don't have a single person on that roster. Maybe Alvin Kamara, maybe, that would be considered a superstar that you would want to watch. And there's no reason to put this team on primetime. As a Saints fan, it sucks, but I guess I'll be watching Saints 12 noon every Sunday, hopefully. And
if they sell out, games. If not, it's going to be a blackout. I remember those days.
Those are the good old days. I used to love going to the games when nobody was there. That's awesome.
Yeah, cheap tickets.
Yep.
I was about ready to say that the Thursday night games are usually awful and that it's a shame they couldn't even get one of them. But this year, they even spruced up that. The Thursday night games are good this year. So I guess there is no reason for them to be on prime time.
One of the last times the Saints played on Thursday night was, this is the only time I remember. I don't know why I was out of town or what I was doing, but I was watching it on an iPad. And Andy Dalton, I think it was against the Cardinals. That was one of the worst performances as a quarterback in the history of football.
That was our best quarterbacks since Drew Brees left.
That's a hard point to argue.
So I saw this. The Giants have a million quarterbacks, including now Jackson Dart, and there's a lot of speculation that they're going to cut Jameis Winston at the end of camp. Would you welcome him back into the city of New Orleans in that quarterback room?
I think he would come play here for free.
Jameis is awesome.
I love him.
Very entertaining. Not a great quarterback.
Remember the whole, he got LASIK. He's going to be able to not throw interceptions. That really worked out.
He's going to win you too many games to get a good draft pick, and he's going to lose you too many games to make the playoffs. So he's going to put us right in that zone where you do not want to be in the NFL. A guy like Tyler Shough probably is going to lose us enough games to get a good draft pick. Let's go with the rookie.
Rattler and Hainer won 0 games in their starts, so let's not discount them if we're tanking. Do y'all know the one game on the schedule that the Saints are favored in?
Jets.
There you go. Yep, the Jets, December 21st. Only game of the season, New Orleans is favored. You are a home underdog in the opener against the Cardinals.
Chicken jockey. Are we looking for the rest of them?
I think they only got the lines public.
3:05. I hate those 3 o'clock games.
3 o'clock with your 7-point dog against the 49ers. Seattle, week 3. Nothing.
Why do you hate 3 o'clock games?
I don't know. I just like to wake up and watch the Saints get their butts kicked and then go along with my day.
Casey, what's the ultimate thing to do? Wake up and do what?
Get pizza.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yes, 100%. That's especially when you're in the Lake Charles area. So is it going to be Shough? Are you guys convinced that Shuck's going to be the starting quarterback next season?
I am. And I'm actively rooting for it. So let's either win with Shough or suck with Shough. One of those I'll be fine with.
I'm not saying that I'm rooting for it or against it, but I do think Rattler's 7 games that he played last year, 6 of them starting, I do think that's going to play a key role. Having someone taking some snaps that has a little bit of experience, no matter what the age is, just the football experience in general.
Yeah, he's part of our studio audience here, but shout out our guy Murder saying the New Orleans defense couldn't even stop 10 inmates from walking out of the Orleans press.
Can we talk about that? Was that OPP?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Nick, you've been there.
I tried. I couldn't get out of the OPP. I don't know how they did it.
Take a massive the toilet breaks and you're good.
Is that what happened? They did a little...
Dude, just like freaking the television show Prison Break, they pulled out the toilet, went through the pipes and all that.
I know they caught 3 of them. Have they caught any more?
5 of them have been caught.
And it's $20,000 a person.
And you don't have to apprehend them. You just tell them where they at.
Information leading to an arrest.
So they found one dude at a bus stop.
So here's my thing. Like, I get it. The guards can't be patrolling the halls, but we have on video them.
Why can't you? That's what you get paid to do.
Got video of them sprinting out of the... Is no one watching the cameras? What are we doing?
I think they were all directing traffic at the Gaines Bridge.
At the Gaines Bridge, he said.
Sorry, Archie.
Who's the New Orleans Saints' biggest draft bust ever? Looks like this would be put out by maybe like a Bleacher Report, something like that, which released every NFL team's biggest draft bust. I got to tell you, I never even heard of the guy that they list for the New Orleans Saints. Sean Knight?
No.
Who's that?
I think he was drafted in like the 80s or something like that. We've
course,
had much worse since.
A couple notable ones, of course, Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, Justin Blackman. Have you guys seen that picture of Justin Blackman? He got arrested recently.
Looks terrible.
Right, he's like 32 years old. He looks like he's 100.
He was so good in college.
Ray Caruth.
That dude, that was a story.
Did he even play?
Like, he was a good player for a while. He just became a murderer. Like, that doesn't make him a draft bust.
So automatically, when you talk about Saints bust, you're looking at Jonathan Sullivan.
That's my guy.
That's the number one. And then some other ones on this list, Stanley Jean-Baptiste and Stephon Anthony. That's a 2015 guy. I can't even tell you who that is.
Okay, let's talk about Jonathan Sullivan. Biggest bust in Saints history. He was picked 6th overall. The Saints traded up to get this guy in 3 seasons. He started 16 games. We blew a lot of other first-round picks if we had to trade up to get this guy. 16 games in 3 years. He was out of the league shortly after.
If you're the 6th overall pick and you don't even make it to your second contract, that's bad.
I may ruffle some feathers from the guy at the end of this table, but I'll tell you who's in my top 5 all-time Saints bust, and it's Reggie Bush.
Ooh.
Dude was rated as the number 1 pick overall.
He had his moments.
Texans passed on him for Mario Williams. He did have his moments. For a number 2 overall pick that was rated as the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Without him, we don't win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, you do.
No, we don't.
You just could have ran Pierre Thomas on screens the entire offensive play call. And you'd have been fine. He'd have got more yards. He wouldn't have went backwards.
Okay, another bust was the kicker that we drafted in the first round in 1979. Russell Erlexaben. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. But we drafted a kicker 11th overall.
Kuiper would have had a stroke if someone would have picked
stupid it was our GM or whoever made that decision. A kicker.
Have we changed since?
Yeah, it was still Loomis, a young Mickey Loomis back in the day trying to, we're going to go ahead and get the kicker situation. And the guy wasn't even a very good kicker either from what I'm.
Yeah, he played only parts of 5 seasons and made very little impact.
Let's go ahead and take that Norwood guy first overall.
Sebastian Janikowski was drafted in the first round, but other than that, I haven't heard of any kicker.
At least Janikowski was good for a long time. This dude that the Saints got wasn't even good.
He was good and drunk for most of his games.
People that write for the Saints are such homers. Top 10 Saints bust of all time, and there's only one person that's not in the 70s, which is ridiculous, and that is Wesley Carroll. 42, but
they're afraid Mickey's going to lift that press pass, say anybody that was picked in his regime. How about Trevor Penning? Trevor Penning's terrible.
The jury's still out on him.
No, it's not. They already declined his 5th-year option. He's done. That's why they picked an offensive lineman this year.
He's got a mean streak, Casey.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he is pretty bad.
That's another guy they traded up to get.
Oh, this might be a little bit better. Since 02. We're not going to list stuff that's in the freaking 40.
Shout out to the Saints for passing up on Terrell Suggs to get Jonathan Sullivan.
Yeah.
That was smart.
And passed on Patty Mahomes.
Who we got? Sean Lattimore?
Courtney Watson.
Who is that?
Second round 60. Chase Lyman. I had high hopes for Chase Lyman. Josh Lay. I'm not sure who it is. Antonio Pittman. Where was he drafted?
See, that wasn't a late round pick.
That's a 4th round running back. Cedric Ellis was bad.
Big sad.
I loved him. He was the 7th pick. He did nothing. Chip Vaughn. High hopes with Chip Vaughn. I was such a Saints fan at the time. Charles Brown.
Oh, this dude here.
Martez Wilson.
Nick Toon.
I love me some Nick Toon.
Every preseason had to hear about how Nick Toon was about to break out.
Al-Qaeda, apparently, we drafted in 2017.
Muhammad Hassan.
Marcus Davenport. That could be
that's up there.
The worst.
See, but this is stupid. How you got a guy that's a 6th round pick?
Zach Bond was on that list?
This is stupid.
Zach Bond led the league in tackles, I believe, last year for the Eagles.
Don't trust any New Orleans Saints beat writer.
They got a dude on the list who's a 6th round pick. How could a 6th round pick be a bust? You're not even expecting him to make the team. Ricky Williams, I don't agree with that.
I would agree with that. When we gave up so much to get Ricky Williams,
but it's not his fault that y'all gave up that much
at a time.
Ricky Williams had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1,000-yard seasons.
We had him for 3 years, and then he went to Dolphins and
had 1,800 yards the next year. Then randomly retired. Then came back. Then randomly got suspended for a year because he likes the weed. And then was good into his 30s. At 32, he was rushing for 1,000 yards.
Strange dude.
Well, he ended up in a wedding dress on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Of course, he's strange.
A young kid in me, I didn't understand what a 2nd and 3rd round pick, man. I'm over here like, hey, let's just get the star player. I was fired up when the Saints got Ricky Williams. Now I was freaking 8, but I was jacked up. It's go time, brother. We're going to make it happen.
I thought we had a star in the making, which he was good. He was good. He just wasn't great.
Yeah, the rest of the team was terrible.
Great.
Who's the quarterback?
Who was helping him out?
They were 3-13 in year 1. The quarterback was
Pete Shooter, I think.
The Billy Joes. Billy Joe Tolliver, Billy Joe Holbert. Werfel played 4 games. Eddie Kennison was the leading receiver.
Don't trash Eddie Kennison.
I didn't say nothing. Keith Poole was the 2nd leading receiver.
I love Keith Poole, Arizona State. That dude was awesome.
Poor Ricky Williams, man. He had 10,000 yards rushing in his career.
But he had 2,000 yards for the Saints, and we gave up a ton for him.
That's Mike Ditka's fault. Yep. Mike Ditka's a bust, not Ricky Williams.
Mike Ditka's character in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, top 10 of all time on my list. It was awesome.
Do you guys remember when Mike Ditka got in trouble with the league because he bet with one of his assistant coaches that they were going to lose the game and they ended up winning? And there was a shot on the sideline of Ditka paying the assistant coach. We know some guys who are always expecting the worst on the sidelines. We've seen a few of them.
I know a guy.
I'm
becoming a guy if I'm not there already. Already got 6 losses pegged for this weekend when the schedule came out.
I know a guy after scoring a first touchdown who has the rest of the season going downhill after that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Don't score that first touchdown again. All downhill after that.
Did you guys see some of the NFL schedule release things? We got one that had to get removed because we were arresting Tyreek Hill in one. The Bills one, to me, was the best one because it had AI, but it was Allen Iverson. And Allen Iverson has no ties to Buffalo, and he genuinely was like, what the hell am I even doing here? He played the role well. Thought that was awesome. The Falcons had Mario Kart, which was pretty cool, but it was a little bit difficult to figure out who they were actually playing.
And I took that personally. Falcons one.
Yeah, did you?
Why?
Sir Saint. There was a podium, so the Falcons are at the top. The Bucks had the second spot. The Panthers had the third spot. And no Sir Saints off to the side. And I took that personally.
Sir Saint is way overrated.
Oh, we're going to have to do mascots one day. Philadelphia Fanatic, that's Sir Saint.
So the only schedule release video I saw, I want to say the Chiefs, where they had the hydraulic press. You see that? Had the hydraulic press, and it would smash some random thing that was affiliated with the team.
One. I don't think that was maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that was the Chiefs. But I do remember seeing that one.
The Bears, when they accidentally sent the email out of the schedule to every Ben Johnson on their mailing list.
But they missed one. It was the Chiefs.
It was the Chiefs. I love when I'm writing you wrong.
But that was last year.
Don't matter. I might have watched last year. I hate the NFL. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. I did watch one from way back in the day, and it kind of spun off of a viral TikTok video now where they showed random people on whatever the popular street is in Nashville, logos of the teams, and they would come up with some whatever first popped in their head. That was pretty entertaining, but that was from years and years ago.
There were some that were real bad. Like the Eagles one was bad. Yeah, it was the Chiefs, but just wasn't this year.
The Ravens one. Did y'all watch that? It was a really serious thing. There was a punchline at the end. I didn't get to it. I didn't like the Ravens one. The Eagles one was just like a flex.
Yeah.
It was just the Lombardi trophy with the Ric Flair theme song, and the credits at the end were their actual schedule.
Y'all lost Kellen Moore, dude. Y'all cooked. No, never mind.
Did y'all see the Saints one?
Was that at a funeral?
It was Kellen Moore Kellen Moore was doing a press conference, and he had his anger translator on the side of him. And Kellen Moore would just do coach speak. Somebody would answer. It was all the New Orleans reporters. There was Nick Underhill.
We just trashed every one of
them. Whoever else, Fletcher Mackle. And they would ask him a question, and Kellen Moore would give him the coach speak answer. And then the guy would just basically say what the coaches would really be thinking, or kind of times 100. He would just go off on the reporters, and Bobby Hebert was in there, and he kind of punked out Bobby Hebert at the end. Which, I mean, it was...
It had to be terrible.
It wasn't great.
It's a pet peeve of mine, or becoming a pet peeve of mine.
What's that?
Not it says the guy or the guys. I don't know what it is, but pet peeve of mine.
Christmas tree cakes won our Little Debbie poll, getting 27% of the vote. So it's not a decisive win. It wasn't like it got 80% of the vote. Silver medalist is the oatmeal cream pies.
Who came out third?
The fudge rounds and Choco Gel tied for third.
Nick, surprise, Choco Gel got 9% of the vote.
Choco Gel did have a very good season, and they stunned some people at the end. But you can't go against Choco Gel.
Peanut butter cream pie, only 2% of the vote. We had over 100 votes. Honey bun, strawberry shortcake, all in that 2%.
How?
Nutty Buddy 2%.
Nutty Buddy
regular brownie 2%. Very, very bad showing by Zebra Cake with only 4% of the vote.
But Zebra Cake kind of is in the family of Christmas tree cakes.
Yeah.
Cosmic Brownie, strong showing despite Nick's displeasure in them, 6.8% of the vote. And Jelly Cream Pie, another 6.8. Star Crunch, surprising, only 4% of of the vote.
Thanks to everybody for voting.
Do we have the winner pick? Oh, yeah.
Somebody from LCO, right?
Yep, somebody from LCO wins something. Marcus Danos from LCO has won our 5 boxes of Little Debbie cake giveaway. Marcus participated and checked all the boxes in order to be eligible for our prize. So make sure in the future we do these giveaways, which now that we have DTB on as a sponsor, hopefully we could do some shirt giveaways. Would be awesome. Make sure you pay attention. Make sure you read. We want comments and the voting participation. So there were a few eligible. And before we started live tonight, we did a random number draw on Google. If you don't believe us, you could check our Google history. And you can see
our Google history.
See how really weird we are.
More legit than the draft lottery.
Marcus, let us know what's your favorite, and we'll get that to you.
Man, I don't know if people in New Zealand listen to us, but last time we were talking about PEDs and baseball and the Hall of Fame. My guy to my right, Nick, said, just let him do steroids. To hell with it. It's going to bring excitement. Well, there's these people in New Zealand who got the memo. We are going to be having what is called the new and enhanced games, according to ESPN.com. They're going to have, I said New Zealand. I don't know why I said that. It's in Las Vegas. Of course it's in Las Vegas.
It's right around the corner from New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know where I got New Zealand from. They're going to be called the New and Enhanced Games, May of 2026. It's going to be an Olympic-style competition where, listen to this, athletes will be allowed, if not outright encouraged, to use PEDs like steroids, testosterone, and growth hormone that are typically legal to possess but are banned in sports. Organizers say they hope to remove the stigma of using these substances and promote safer ways to push the limits of human performance. What could go wrong in an Olympics where everybody's juiced up? What could go wrong here? And ultimately, are we going to see a world where an athlete sells out and goes try to break a world record while juiced up?
Every world record is getting broken at this games. Every single one of them.
Nick was very negative whenever I said they should allow boxers to juice. And now he's on the train. I like it. Appreciate you coming around, Nick.
We got swimming that'll be in this, track and field, weightlifting. Oh, the weightlifting is going to be interesting. Gymnastics, combat sports. There you go, Nick. Whew. It's going to be a show. Illicit drugs, now like recreational drugs, cocaine and all that will not be allowed. So we're going to draw.
Weed's legal there.
You could juice up. You could do growth hormone, all that, but we ain't playing with the meth and all that.
So there are 4 bullet points on the Enhanced Games website as performance enhancements, athlete safety, athletic competition, and private funding. Athlete safety under the bullet says protecting athletes is our top priority. Every competitor will undergo rigorous state-of-the-art medical profiling prior to participating in competitions.
So I guess what we're going to find out is how much this stuff actually helps. Some dude who finished 15th in the Olympics breaks the world record in the 100, then obviously we know it's a huge boost. If that dude who finished 15th in the Olympics runs 2/100ths of a second faster, then maybe it's not that big of a difference. If this happens, I have a lot of doubts that this is ever going to actually get off the ground, even though it says they got money behind it, $500,000 purse for each event. We'll see. But I think that this is going to be quite a mess, to say the least.
So it's going to be held Memorial Day weekend next year in Las Vegas. The announcement also featured a world first Olympic swimmer, Kristen something. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Broke the long-standing 50-meter freestyle world record with a time of 20.89 seconds, surpassing the 2009 benchmark. The time was 21:03, so a pretty sizable difference there. My question to you guys was going to be, do you think you're going to get some actual Olympic athletes there? Or is it too gimmicky?
So it says here every event's going to have a $500,000 purse and a $250,000 prize for first place. Track and swimming, you could get rich doing those if you're good. I don't think there's going to be any biting. Combat sports, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. And of course, one of the groups that paid money to invest in this was a firm run by Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, yeah. Make the Olympics great again.
There's a very big statement here, and this is why maybe we could see some. There's a $1 million bonus that will be handed out to people who break world records. Maybe we will see some legitimate athletes start juicing up.
I'll have to dust off my track shoes.
Putting the testosterone.
Captured my attention for sure. This is going to be pretty legit if it happens. This will be streaming on YouTube and the artist formerly known as Twitter, now known as X.
So that was going to be my next question is, would like a television network pick this up?
You got a year to get it done. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Ooh, man.
If this gets big, it's getting picked up by a TV network.
They're encouraging people to use PEDs. The world is going to be very interesting. Aaron D'Souza is the company's founder and president. He said, and I quote, "We are here to move humanity forward," D'Souza said. "The old rules didn't hold back athletes. They held back humanity." That dude sounds like a sleazebag with that quote. What do y'all think Aaron D'Souza looks like?
Indian.
Jewish.
All right, let's see.
Dressy, button-down shirt.
He's from New Zealand. He's a New Zealander. Operates a $52 billion company. So, yeah, they got some money. Very quickly, before we get into our overrated, underrated segment, I saw something, and this is not even on the list. I'm just thinking of this now. And we also got to talk about Brittany Mahomes' these
changes.
I agree.
Hulk Hogan is reportedly attempting to buy the Hooters franchise. Apparently, they're struggling financially.
All they do is they talk amongst themselves.
I was just about to say we did a 1-star
around
review.
Our granddaughters.
Hogan becomes the freaking Hooters guy. Would that spark any interest from you guys at all? I mean,
I'm a Hooters fan in general, so putting one of my all-time favorite personalities and athletes at the helm of that would be awesome. So he's got a beer.
Yeah.
The Real American
beer.
So that's got to go right in line with what he's trying to do. And maybe he could get some water refills for Nick so he could stop complaining.
They might be encouraging me to get beers instead of water.
Did you go to Homa the next day or that weekend?
We went to Spigots. Oh. We got a burger. It was big. We need to make burgers wider.
Make burgers wide again?
Wider, not taller.
I'm telling y'all, that flat Shaw's at Sonic is legit. I don't know what it's called. It's legit.
I had Sonic last night because I am a complete fat ass at the moment. They have a chicken tender with queso bacon wrap. Okay, it's like $1.49. So put your wrap, put a chicken tender in there, load it with queso, put bacon, roll it up.
Shit, it's not messy.
It was awesome.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Not only do we have a group chat, we have a group Life 360, and that alerts me when Murder's phone's dying when he's struggling.
You being for real right now?
Yeah, why would
Zesty Hot Glizzy. You don't know anything about that?
I know nothing about this.
You know where Jacob Gyro's at? I can tell you.
Okay.
Shout out Devin Abear, too.
Throwing up somewhere. All right, let's talk about Brittany Mahomes. Some red carpet stuff happened involving a Patrick Mahomes charity event. And Brittany Mahomes gave birth to 2 things on her chest. She used to be not very well endowed. Now she is very, very well endowed. Boys, obviously the surgeon did a good job. That's quite a noticeable change. This is like when the WWE diva gets jumped and is gone for 6 months and then comes back like this. Mahomes was written off of TV, and now she's come back with some Hooters, brother.
Fun bags on a horse is what I'm looking at right now. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I love females, respect females, especially light-haired females. Is that correct?
Light-haired?
Yeah, light-haired. Blondes.
Blondes, yeah.
Blondes.
Fair enough.
But Patty Mahomes, man, there's a reason he went by that.
Do you have any hot takes?
Hot take of the day brought to you by Martin's AC and Electric, established in 1967. The Mahomes family aggravates out of me. Every one of them. Patrick, the wife, who's a Karen, the brother, who's a freaking pedophile. I'm done with them. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't root for Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm done. They were a fun story. It was cool. Like, yeah, they got this new quarterback. The way that Patrick Mahomes talks is weird to me. Like, his voice is weird to me. Everything about these people breeds cult. I'm done. I'm out. That's my hot take of the day.
I can't get out of my head that he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Right.
Did you see in the schedule release video for the Colts? He came in and broke up the John Rocker, Patrick Mahomes Sr. fight, and he was a frog.
Now,
A lot of people probably didn't get that, but that's what that was. He's a frog. He sounds like a frog.
if he's embracing it, then that is actually
No, he's not
cool.
embracing it. The Colts.
Oh, the
No,
Colts.
no,
Colts are the ones who trolled everybody.
Sorry, I didn't watch any of that. I just watched the 2024 Chiefs video.
Let's go into college football season is right around the corner. May 21, so figure June 21, July 21. We're like 3 months away from week 0, y'all. So 90 days away from us being really pissed off about LSU football a lot. Even after wins, I'm pissed off half of the time. Joe Klatt, who I cannot stand, by the way. So, of course, he made a list that pissed everybody off. Joe Klatt had a list of the top 5 quarterbacks in college football.
Hey, Joel Klatt here. Here are my top 5 quarterbacks going into next season, the 2025 college football season. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on a guy that I've liked for a long time, and I do think he's going to have a great year. But I'm just going to put him at 5. That's Drew Aller. So Drew Aller at Penn State is going to be number 5. I think Drew's going to have a monster year. His wide receiver core should be better. The next step for him, his team at Penn State and his coach and James Franklin are beating teams that they are even with. Okay, so you got to go out and beat Ohio State at some point, Oregon this year potentially, and then succeed in moving forward in the playoffs even more so than they did a year ago. At number 4, Sam Leavitt. He was terrific last year at Arizona State. I think he will continue to be terrific. He's got Jordan Tyson back, his best wide receiver. He's got Kenny Dillingham, his coach, right there by his side. And I think Leavitt is not only a terrific player, but with those pieces around him still there, I think he's going to flourish and be one of the better players in the country. John Mateer, the transfer from Washington State, going to Norman and at Oklahoma, he's my number 3 quarterback. I was able to watch a ton of his film. In fact, every snap of the Washington State offense from last year, I watched because I was preparing for Washington State against Syracuse in the Holiday Bowl. And I got to tell you, John Mateer was a top 10 quarterback last year in college football, and he's going to return now. He takes his offensive coordinator to Norman in Ben Arbuckle, and he's going to have better players around him. It's a tough schedule, there's no doubt. The spotlight will be on him for sure at OU with all the pressure that comes with being the Oklahoma quarterback. But this guy can run, he can throw. I've been very impressed with him. I think he's going to be tremendous this year. Now we go to the top 2, and at number 2, I've got Arch Manning. I just don't see a world that Arch doesn't succeed at Texas. He's got the pedigree. The games that we did see him play, we saw a guy that can put the defense in conflict. And I'm talking about with his legs and the ability to stretch the field with his arm. So he can throw the ball down the field and threaten every single blade of grass on the field, but he can also put edge defenders in conflict and be one of the better running quarterbacks that we saw last year.
I'm going to stop that right there. Very strategic pause right there.
Oh, I'm so pissed off.
So there's
right
a
now.
number, I could tell. So there's a number 1 quarterback, right? You got some people that are in this room that last year said he was a top 5 guy. He was a top 10 guy. So maybe you think that's where we're headed?
It's going to be some dude from Bowling Green.
And then the number 1 quarterback going into next season is going to be Cade Klubnik at Clemson. Cade is following in a blueprint of exactly
it gets
what it
worse
takes to succeed in college football and have a monster year. He's experienced.
Clemson.
He's got his
Top 5.
coordinator back with him. He's got good players around him. He's on a team that's on the rise. I think Clemson's easily a top 5 team going into next year.
All right, I'm done. I can't listen to that anymore.
Drew Aller, Sam Leavitt, Mateer,
Oh, bro, I watched every snap.
Arch Manning, number 2. I like how he said puts the defense in bad situations. Like, dude,
How would you know?
He played like 30 snaps, dude. Klubnik, number 1. How could any human being, and I'm going to go pull up Drew Aller's stats.
Look, he was good.
He belongs in the top 5.
So last year, he had 24 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and 3,327 yards. Nuss had more yards, more touchdowns, and the same amount of interceptions as Aller. I don't even know this Mateer guy from Washington State. Oh, bro, I saw every one of his snaps. Well, why the Washington State didn't win any games? That's the same thing that I say about Shuck. It's like, oh, bro, Shuck was so good. He played college football for 37 years, and no one knows who he is. How could he have been that good?
I've been following Tyler Shuck for the last
35 years.
35 days.
John Mateer at Washington State, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Yeah, that's all right. But, okay, his last 3 games, lost to New Mexico, lost to Oregon State, lost to Wyoming. That's better than Nuss? Get out of here, bruh. That dude's just making the list just to troll people.
Hey, look, you would think that, but look, May 20th, this article by Joe Klatt.
Yeah,
You know Joe Klatt has 6?
Who's that?
Nussmeier.
All right, so he's got Nussmeier just off the list.
Just ahead of DJ Lagway, who has...
See, no, I don't even agree with that. Like, how's Lenore Sellers of South Carolina not on there? I would have him ahead of Nuss.
And this is why I brought the clip up, because I knew it'd get you fired up.
Oh, God, what are we doing, man? Arch Manning never. Oh, I see no world where Arch Manning's not going to be successful this coming season. He wasn't even a starter last year over the guy who was the starter last year? The guy, I get him all fired up and flustered.
Quinn Ewers.
Ewers was terrible. He couldn't start over him. He was a 6th round pick. But I see no world where Arch Manning never won a state championship in high school.
Played on a pretty field.
Klubnik, boy. Oh.
I'm going to be in the house at the Fake Death Valley.
Well, come on.
Yep, that's a bucket list of mine. Is
watching Dabo sprint from the locker room to the 50.
That is one of the stupidest things in college football.
So we're playing at Pelican Park on Saturday. I'm going to run from the parking lot pregame.
Dude,
there's some sort of statue in front of there.
So hype.
I'm going to rub the statue, and then I'm going to go in the court.
That is so dude's in khaki pants sprinting.
So
you know what happens there?
Yeah, they get
the last person that sprinted in khaki pants still deals with that today.
So, bro, Klubnik, number 1, okay? He played 3 SEC games last year against Georgia, lost 34-3. Against South Carolina, lost 17-14. Against Texas in the playoff, 38-24. My math is he's 0-3 in the SEC right now.
He's about to be 1-2.
So now let's go play Ole Miss after that. Then let's go play LSU the week after that. Let's go to the Swamp. There's no Wake Forest and Florida States in the SEC.
He even lost to Tyler Shuck.
He did lose to Shuck. That's embarrassing.
Hey, even the best of us lose to Tyler Shuck.
Let's go see Shuck's stats in that game. He probably ate him up. Shuck in that game was god-awful. 17 of 32, $156, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was terrible.
Sounds like a second-round draft to me.
3 carries, 9 yards, and a touchdown.
Game manager, baby. How did they score 33 points if Shuck was awful? They ran the ball well. Okay, they're running back at 151.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got Isaac Brown at running back. You don't want to throw the ball too much when you got Isaac Brown at running back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I said Isaac Brown did eat. He had 7 yards a carry last year. How'd that guy not go in the portal?
Freshman. Dang.
As a freshman.
I'm talking shit about this. This guy's a
stud. Let's get to overrated, underrated. We've got music. I'm going to need to lean on you guys because I like every one of these. So I'm not going to know how to rate these. This is tough. This one was harder than last week. Let's kick off our overrated, underrated music edition.
So today's episode, May 25th in the year 2025, and we're going old school to start. Overrated, underrated, the Beatles.
I mean, I properly rated. They're the GOATs. They're the best of all time. Yeah?
Okay.
Murder, you saying overrated? I think they're the GOATs, man.
Was a huge Beatles fan for the last
if you're about to
20
shit on
years.
The Beatles.
But
I can't listen to them anymore.
Why not?
It's just all their songs just sound so like corny.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
When I was a fan, I was like, man, these guys revolutionized music.
They did.
But then you listen to like other stuff from that era, and they're doing the same thing, just less drugs. I like the Beatles. I really, really like the Beatles. Let me get that out there right now. I still think they're overrated.
So the thing that's hard is a lot of people do consider them to be the best. If you don't consider them to be the best, then you would probably be saying that they're overrated. Even if you think they're still top 5, if you don't think that they're number 1, then you'd probably be saying that they're overrated. But I do think that they're the GOATs. I do.
So that opinion coming from someone whose social media claim to fame is these guys, opinion null and void. Beatles, the GOAT, properly rated, not over, not under, properly rated.
That's what I said too.
They have some bangers.
They
They
made a CD of just number one hits that had to go to CDs.
That's what I'm saying. I like the Beatles. I still think they're overrated. They had some bangers, but they have some other songs that I can't even listen to this.
I legitimately hate you right now.
There's a lot of people in the chat that are blowing up right now, but a lot of them are saying overrated too.
Well, yeah.
Let's move on before I get pissed off. Next on the list is Tupac. I'll go first because I got an opinion on this.
Go ahead.
So growing up, I was a fan. As I got older, not a fan. I hated everything that was around them. But now, hold on, don't judge. Now, severely underrated. And I wish I could play that song. It's a GOAT. I wish I could play it right now, but it's got way too many curse words. He hits now. He's way underrated.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is he still alive? Yes or no?
No, but I hated him when he was dead.
No. But I'm asking, like, there's all these conspiracy theories and like,
just in general.
Yeah, is he alive?
He's probably hanging out with Elvis at that church.
They got a lot of people that say he went to the islands, and there's even some pictures that have surfaced of people that maybe look like him. I feel like I'm going to say overrated slightly because I feel like the death is why he's as popular as he is. But not by much, because he is really good. So I'm going to say slightly overrated.
I'd say slightly underrated.
Yeah.
Like at that time, it was Tupac West Coast, Biggie East Coast. If you had to pick one out of those two, it's definitely Tupac. Like,
I agree with that. I agree.
When I was a lot fatter, I was a Biggie guy, and now that I lost a little weight, I'm still fat, but I'm a Tupac guy now.
I think Tupac was ahead of his time. Dude's an amazing lyricist, and he could do love songs. He could do gangster rap. He could do it all.
Little love songs.
Yeah, he has some for the ladies in there in his catalog.
And he's very much so still alive, by the way.
So, Nick, you said Tupac was a lyricist?
Yeah. Hit him up.
One of my favorite songs, and I'm going to paraphrase this.
Please do, but I see the list that you got there.
That's why I blanked yo blank, you fat blank. Take money, West Side, Bad Boy
Take
Killers.
money.
You know who the realest is.
Take money.
And the Beatles overrated. You're right.
Well, I love the way that we strung this. We go Beatles to Tupac, then now Tupac back to
Next one, overrated, underrated, Led Zeppelin.
I'll go first on this one.
Go.
I imagine they were rated pretty highly in the 70s.
You weren't born in the 70s?
The last couple months of the 70s.
Old.
Yeah, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Thanks.
On the Beatles again, Nick.
So back in their time, I'm sure they were highly rated. And then I feel like they kind of fell off because when you think of classical music, they don't really come to mind first.
Yeah, Beethoven, right?
Classic rock.
You brought another side out of me. I'm here for the rest of the night.
I think in the last few years they've had a resurgence, at least with me, and I think they're underrated because
You know what?
you ask people who's the best bands of the 70s, not too many people are going to say Led Zeppelin.
You know what?
Oh, I agree.
Two songs that stick out to me the most, and I wish Tommy was here because I'd probably get him to sing it. Dire Maker, banger, and the Levy song. I don't know.
When the Levee Breaks.
That's a classic title. Those two songs are fantastic, and I cannot say, even with just those two songs, and I know they got better stuff than that. Obviously,
Stairway to Heaven, baby. Yeah.
Denied, underrated.
Ramble On, banger.
Immigrant Song, very good. Whole Lot of Love, very
So
good.
Dire Maker is more of a slow song. I don't know if you're aware of that. I'm sure some folks in the chat are. Tommy and I used to listen to that on repeat. Why? No clue. It's probably listening to that getting his ass kicked at a 5-year-old baseball game that he's going to come tell us later that they didn't take score on.
Coach Tommy Votto. Yes, underrated. I'm a Zeppelin fan. I don't think they are given the respect that they deserve. I'm with you guys.
Next, Nirvana.
This might break some hearts.
No, I'm with you, Nick.
I love Nirvana. If Kurt Cobain lives, maybe this band isn't as big. And
That's the same thing that I say about Tupac. I'm with you 100%.
I guess you either die the hero or live long enough to be a band who plays in Las Vegas on Residence.
What?
It's story time.
So 12-year-old Damien. Birthday party at what's the
Creole
Bon Ton?
Lanes?
Bon Ton Lanes in Galliano? I believe that's what it was.
It was.
Was it Creole?
I have no idea.
One of those.
The bowling alley down the bayou.
So I got like $100 cash, went straight to K Jams, bought every Nirvana CD. It was big Nirvana mark. Growing up, now, not at all. Overrated.
I'm
with you guys. What's the dude in the NBA that played for the Celtics and played for a year or two and like died?
Lynn Bias.
That's what this is.
I don't think he ever played. I think he died right after the draft.
That's what this is. Good stuff. Showed all sorts of potential, and the whole story would be different if the singer were still with it, or the guitarist was still with us.
I just don't see them lasting. Well, I mean, obviously they didn't. I just don't see them lasting. Like there was a lot of music coming out of that area, and I don't know if they were even the best. Soundgarden, Pearl Jam.
You know Pearl Jam's original name?
Mookie Blaylock. Yeah.
Nirvana drummer.
That's Dave Grohl.
What is he?
You guys are.
I'm telling you, Nick pissed me off. It's over. Queen. I'll go first.
Oh, I'm ready. And
very overrated. Extremely overrated.
Extremely overrated,
Yep.
He says. No, dude, I'm with you, Nick. I think that they're really good. I'd say underrated. I like Queen.
One song.
Greatest band in the world ever.
Now that I ain't going. I ain't saying that.
Don't stop me now. We are the champions. You could just go on and on and on. This, what was that movie? Bohemian Rhapsody? Was that the movie?
I think it was just called Rhapsody, but yeah.
Awesome movie. Queen's my favorite band of all time. By a lot.
Overrated.
I wish I could.
Severely underrated.
Buddy Miller told me a joke about that. I'll tell you guys when we hit stop. It's not appropriate at all for what we're trying to do.
Next, Luke Bryan. I'm gonna have to look him up.
Is that guy that's on the flag?
Is it?
No.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
Yes.
Well, I thought that's who that was.
Yes.
That's why he's on that list.
No.
Well, it's
so you want to change it?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan or whatever the guy's name is.
So that is, we have a flag in our studio of Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
That's the guy that's supposed to be on this list.
Zach Bryan.
Way underrated. The dude is a complete
Zach Bryan?
Views and the way he acts. He's an idiot. Music, top of the charts for me. Concert, one of the best I've ever been to. His music is, for now, it's hard to beat.
So just to be clear, we are audibling from Luke to Zach, correct?
Yes.
All right. Not all that familiar, to be honest. I'll say properly rated. Luke Bryan, I was prepared, and I was going to say overrated. Zach, I'm going to have to do a little research. So my apologies on that one. The audible kind of threw me for a loop.
I'll send you my playlist.
Yeah, please do.
I've never heard anything from either one of them.
Appreciate the list.
I was about to say, you're the one who made the list.
And obviously, I don't
You
know the
just
dude
made the
if I
list.
gave him the wrong name.
I'm going to switch the notes. Luke Bryan, not Zach. For the record, Luke Bryan, way overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Bob Dylan is next on our list.
I like Bob Dylan, dude. Forever Young. I would say underrated. He's good. Whenever I would think of someone saying, like, hey, who are the dudes that were banging in the late 60s, early 70s, his name wouldn't come up, but it probably should. Knocking on Heaven's Door, that's legit.
He did the Hurricane, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I would say underrated for Bob Dylan. I think he's one of the GOATs, and he doesn't often come up as one of the GOATs.
So the fact that my wife is probably listening somewhere, I'm going to say underrated. That's one of her favorites. And I did have a Bob Dylan poster in our apartment in Lafayette, I believe.
So he's overrated. That's the correct answer for this. Overrated. Dude has maybe 3 songs that any of us ever heard of.
We just listed
And he talks
5.
weird.
He talks weird.
He sings weird. He has that, I don't like it. Can't get down with that.
You just said Queen was the best band
Dude.
ever.
Freddie Mercury's vocally best singer ever.
That's the dude that got hit in the nose in the ladder match? Oh, it's Joey Mercury. Never mind. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah.
But Freddie Mercury, #1 vocalist.
Next on the list, Tom Petty.
I'm saying overrated just because I hate that song that Florida plays.
I like Tom Petty, but he's
So-
overrated.
Just me being petty and as an LSU fan, I'm saying overrated just because of that.
He's got some bangers, but once again, I know probably about 3 or 4 songs of his. I'd say overrated.
Call Up the Instigator is solid.
But his songs that are bangers are bangers.
So what you saying? What you go
Still overrated. Did I say underrated or
through?
overrated?
I don't remember.
He's overrated.
I didn't realize that Won't Back Down was almost a 90s song. I thought that he was a little bit of a previous generation. I didn't realize he was this recent.
Next, Metallica.
Way overrated.
Way overrated.
Metallica, the top 5 band of all time.
I am never riding anywhere with you.
Bro,
or
I hated him when I was a kid, but
Way overrated.
no
Way
way, man.
overrated.
No way.
Okay,
List
so-
3 songs without looking it up.
Unforgiven, Enter Sandman, Load.
I could list 2. Unforgiven and Unforgiven 2. Oh, bro, Virginia Tech. We listening to that before we come out.
The thing that pisses me off about them, they got Napster shut down. You remember that? Like,
I'll
fuck
never
them.
forgive
They
them
are
for
the
that.
Wait,
Edo
did I say
Bandits
Load? I
of
meant Fuel.
bands. Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
Underrated.
Next.
Underrated.
Green Day.
See, this is a little closer to my age group here, and I was not ever a huge fan. So I'm gonna say overrated.
I'm going overrated as well. I really enjoyed the Dookie album, and we went all political and all kind of drama, and now Billy Joe Armstrong could go play with Freddie Finderglass, whoever the hell the Queen lead singer is,
Freddie Finderglass.
whatever his name is.
Freddie Mercury, bro. Green Day, I'd say, is underrated.
Oh man.
I love Green
That
Day.
dude's so woke right now. How
I
do you
know,
even deal
I
with
know,
that?
but their music is great,
Oh, bro, 21 guns.
but his politics is
Yeah,
toxic.
but now he changes the music to the politics.
Yeah.
Last one, and I will walk out of here.
Oh no! You're gonna get unanimous approval here, unless if Nick goes heel.
Creed.
Nick, if you do it, you're done. You are done.
Going straight to
Hustler remote
Rosselli's
over
and getting that sponsorship.
I'm going to go off on Freddie Mercury in a second.
I mean, underrated. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, woefully underrated. Their Thanksgiving Day performance at Texas Stadium for the Cowboys is the greatest sports musical performance of all time. Woefully.
I don't know if
underrated.
I'm going that high.
Woefully
They are
underrated.
definitely underrated.
Okay, so very underrated. Creed.
Hey!
When I'm working, I could put on some Creed, and I feel like I know 50 of their songs. and
Yes.
It's all bangers, and it just makes me man, bro.
Yes.
Love me some Creed. Not a single issue with Creed.
I thought
Have
for
you-
sure you were going to let
I was
us
just
down.
setting y'all up.
The Creed techno remixes are A-class.
It's awesome to see that they're like touring again and stuff. Because I know that they had had some
In
issues
the last probably 5 years, they've had a big resurgence of.
because of us. It feels
I thought it was just us, but apparently it's nationwide. People love Creed.
hell yeah.
I actually went to see Scott Stapp at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi last year. And then Tommy and I are going in July.
Where that's at?
Smoothie King Center, which it should be the Superdome.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking Jerry World, biggest venue.
They are touring, and I think they have a cruise as well, which I
Cool.
They do, and I've been trying to get y'all to go on this Creed cruise.
when
I don't
You've
know.
never talked about
Nick,
it.
Bro, I have
Nick,
put it in our group text thing.
The same one you got invited to play golf in Sunday.
I don't check that. Maybe
Nick,
about once a month.
I got a mean $1,600 to not go on that cruise.
Creed
baby.
cruise. I'll check out if it's still available tonight, and if it is, we all going. Everybody in the chat, Murda, you coming?
Everybody's going on Nick's down.
Queen cruise. If you could bring Freddie Mercury back to life, I'm going on a Queen cruise.
I want to say so many things right now.
Let's get some predictions on these two series.
Sure, let's do it. Oklahoma City in 6 in the first, Knicks in 6 in this one.
What you got, Damien?
I do agree with you on the first one. I thought last night the Thunder just outplayed the T-Wolves.
Wolves can't score.
I don't think they got enough gas in them. I'm going to go Pacers here.
Come on.
I really like the way they play. I think Jalen Brunson can't go left, and I think they're going to exploit that. I just think that their pace of play and their style of play is going to be too much for the Knicks, and they're going to be representing the Eastern Conference in the finals.
Is the league going to let them win, though? That's my concern.
What does the league want to see? The Knicks in the finals?
Yeah, New York.
Yes. That's my take on this one. These are the two teams that I didn't think were going to be here, and I was rooting for in the playoffs. But I think in this situation, Big Brother NBA office is going to nudge the Knicks into the finals because it's better for business. But I'm fine with either of these teams going into the finals. I would say Knicks in 7. Let's make it a good series, 7-game series. On the Western Conference side, I think OKC is just too much for the young guns in Minnesota. Sweep, by the way.
Ooh,
OKC 4.
Jeez.
Not even a gentleman's sweep.
Let's assume for a second Oklahoma City does win the other series. That's the smallest market in the NBA, minus maybe New Orleans. Milwaukee, yeah. We ain't having Indiana and Oklahoma. Dude, the ratings for that would bomb. I think that it has to. They're going to do whatever they can to help the Knicks out. Maybe the Knicks just won't be able to survive even with the help.
Saying the NBA's rigged?
Oh, without question.
How disappointing are NBA Game 7s?
They're always 50-point games.
Yeah.
That's disheartening.
Or it could be like the old Lakers, Celtic, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol Game 7s where the score is like 72-68. It's either one or the other.
Gyro ball.
It's the second hot take of the show. I can't. I find no joy in watching Oklahoma City.
The NBA is so soft.
I see no joy in watching Oklahoma City because it's a bunch of Hardens on offense that are flailing trying to draw fouls, but it's a bunch of Draymonds on defense. They're just pushing you down and fouling you. I can't watch them. Don't find any joy watching them. I'd love to see Minnesota beat them, but no, ain't happening. I want to thank everybody so much for listening today. We've had a great episode. We want to thank our sponsors as well. If you want to become a sponsor, shout us out. Drop a direct message to any of us on social media, and we'd be more than happy to assist you guys. So for Nick to my right, Damien to my left, this is Casey Gisclair signing off. Thanks for listening to the Group Chat Podcast.
Let's go, champ!